Hello guys, welcome to Cooking with Cleo. It's been a minute and that makes me sad. But I'm hoping to start picking up some video content and doing a little bit more. So I've been wanting to do like a holiday series for a while, and I figured Thanksgiving would be the perfect time. So if you've got any pumpkins left over from, I almost said Easter, left over from Halloween, we can use these pumpkins and we can make pumpkin pie. Now, there is a difference between pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns. However, you can still eat jack-o'-lanterns. They have a little bit of a different flavor, a little bit of a different texture, but if you have any unused jack-o'-lanterns, you can use those as well. You don't need pie pumpkins. However, the skin is going to be tougher on a jack-o'-lantern. And the pie pumpkins are going to be a little sweeter in flavor and smoother in texture. Do you have anything to add, Cleo?
Yes.
All right, cool. So Cleo got a pumpkin. It's a white pumpkin, and I've never actually cooked with these, so this is an experiment for me. She colored on it. This is gonna be a little different because this is Sharpie, so it's not gonna come off really easily. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it and gut it like we normally do. And then I'm going to try to take the skin off, and I'll show you all of those steps in this compilation. Because I'm not using this for carving, I'm not as concerned about the shape or width of the hole. And we're gonna get a lot of pumpkin from this. It'll probably go several recipes. So the pumpkin is basically cleaned up. You can see I did leave some skin on where she did not color with the Sharpie, so that's okay. And just make sure you've washed your pumpkin if it's been outside. And also, just know that if there wasn't Sharpie, you can skip the peeling process because the skin will come right off. And that's why I kept some skin on, so I can show you that it'll come right off when you're done boiling. Headspace, and we're gonna go ahead and put this on the stove top. Bring it to a boil, then you're gonna lower it down to a simmer and let it sit on the stove for like anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, so we've been boiling for about 40 minutes ish, and I'm gonna be poking the pumpkin, and you know it's done because the fork comes out really smoothly on all of these pieces, okay? If your fork is sticking, that means it needs more time. And you can see here, all of the pieces, it's coming out very nicely. You can also see the skin is also super easy to puncture. And I'll show you, once it cools, how we're gonna take that skin off. So I'm not really sure what happened to my microphone for this part of the video. It just was not cooperating. So we're going to look at our pumpkin now. I'm using a food processor to blend up my pumpkin, but you could also use a blender, or if you don't have either of those, you could use a KitchenAid with a paddle attachment, although you'll have to whip it pretty hard. And then if worse comes to worse, you can also use a potato masher. It's just going to take a lot longer to get that very buttery, smooth consistency. And we can see how easily it breaks away from the pumpkin now. I mean, the skin breaks away from the pumpkin. It's very easy and smooth. And we're just gonna put all of the pieces, once they're completely peeled, into the food processor. Then once the pumpkin is blended, I just put it into a separate bowl to make it more manageable while I separate it into our storage bags. I'm going to be using my breast milk storage bags. I still have a lot of them and they're great for the freezer. So if you're a mom and you have some left over, that's a great way to use those. And then I'm just going to be separating all of these into about 8-ounce packages. Most cans of pumpkin have 15 to 32 ounces, depending on how big you get them. So just if you're sectioning your bags off like me, you'll need 2 bags for 1 pie. Or if you have bigger bags, go ahead and just put 16 ounces because that's what you need for most pumpkin pie recipes. Then because I used a white pumpkin to begin with, my pumpkin did come out a little more yellow. And so I was kind of deciding to play around with some coloring, and I thought I might add some food coloring just to see if I could make it the more traditional orange color. And that was a weird experiment, but it kind of worked. And look how much pumpkin we got. So the yield is pretty nice on this, I would say. And for $4.99 is how much we paid for Cleo's pumpkin. We just got a lot of food. Say hello! Say hi!
Hi.
Welcome to Cooking with Cleo. Today, as promised, we're going to show you how to use your pumpkin that we made in the last episode. So we have our pumpkin here. We need 2 cups, and you remember I dyed some, and then some was just yellow. So we're gonna mix that because I didn't have enough of just the orange. But that'll be fun. And let's get started.
Yeah.
So, we are going to be using a older cookbook. I got this from my sister and it's very interesting. I really like the recipes in it so far, but this is my first time attempting the pumpkin pie recipe. So we'll see how it goes. So first, what we need to do is beat our egg yolks. Beaten separately, what? What do you want me to do? Okay, I'm really confused because it says 4 eggs, then it says beat the egg yolks. Should we use the whole egg or just the yolks? She says yolks. Should we trust her? Trust me. Okay, sure. So we'll start by separating, and then it'll be Cleo's job to mix. Wait, okay. Well, if you crack the whole egg, we're gonna use the whole egg. Do you understand? Here, you crack, I'll separate. Okay, 1 yolk. Here, crack this one, sorry, I forgot that you're cracking. Good, I'll separate. Wah. Tomorrow, guess what we're gonna have for breakfast, Cleo? If you guessed egg white omelets, you're right. Okay, crack this one. Hey, maybe Dad could be our cameraman since he's here for this. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, I let you crack this one. Sometimes I just get in the zone, you know. Come on. The yolk's breaking. If we were making a meringue, these egg whites would be unusable. Good thing we're not making meringue. Okay, Cleo. Before you wash your hands, I'll have you mix the eggs up, okay? Whisk, whisk, whisk. Okay, now let's refer back to our recipe. So we've beaten the egg yolks, or Cleo's working on that. Now we're gonna add pumpkin. Okay? So we've got our 2 cups of pumpkin here. Let me get a spatula. People are gonna think this is sweet potato pie. Okay? I'll help you. Whisk, 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 whisk. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Ooh, that looks pretty. Doesn't it look pretty, Cleo? Okay. Now we're gonna add spices and flour. Is sugar considered a spice? Because it does not talk about adding the sugar. Okay, we're just gonna trust the process. So we have 1 cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of flour here. You can see. Okay, Cleo, whisk that now. Probably should have gotten a bigger bowl, but hey, we're just having fun. Maybe we should add the yolks. This is not as runny as normal. Okay. Okay, add spices. So it says we need to add cinnamon, ginger, and cloves. I don't have cloves, so we're just going to be using cinnamon and ginger. All right, so a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. I just grabbed my 1/4 teaspoon, so we're doing 1 for ginger and a 1/2 teaspoon for cinnamon, so that'll be 2 spoons. 1, 2. Okay, go ahead and mix, mix, mix. Mix it, Cleo. Mix it, Cleo. We're melting our butter, and we need 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this to measure. Oh, did you hear the butter pop?
Nice.
Oops. Come on. There we go. Okay. So we just need 1/2 cup of evaporated milk. So we won't use this whole can. All right, Cleo. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, 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 mix. Okay, can you mix it slowly? It's getting very full. Does it taste yummy? I'm like really worried about this egg thing. Beaten separately, what does that mean? Beat the egg yolks, mix with pumpkin, add spices and flour, melt butter, and add with cream. Oops, I didn't do that. Okay, beat, beat, beat. Okay, our butter's been added. It was 2 tablespoons of butter because I did not say that. Fill with mixture, bake at 400 for 10 minutes to prevent crust from becoming soggy. I didn't even preheat the oven. Okay, now this is where the fun part comes in. So I made ginger snap cookies a couple days ago, and I had a lot of extra dough, and so I thought it would be fun to try using the ginger snap cookie dough as our pie crust. I will be making a video, hopefully, about making the nice perfect pie crust, but today for our pumpkin pie, we're gonna use this ginger snap cookie dough. And to test it, before I made a tiny pie that hopefully we'll have enough for. I think we will because, yeah, I think we will because this is a lot of filling, but you never know. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and incorporated. Not that I don't trust your stirring skills, Cleo, but you are barely, not even 2, so. That was against serve safe, Cleo.
No.
No. Here, you wanna lick this? Because we're done with this one. Okay. So I hope you can see this. Oh, actually, we might not have enough for the tester pie. Maybe because Cleo's eating it. No more. Okay. So this will go in the oven at 400 for 10 minutes. And then after that, we are going to bring the temperature in the oven down, and we're gonna bake it for 45 minutes at 325. So that's exciting. We will see you then. We're gonna put this in the oven very soon, and we won't have a tester pie, so it'll be interesting. So our oven's up to temp. We're gonna put it in at 400 for 10 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes. We brought the temperature down to 325 and now we bake for an additional 45 minutes. Okay, so this is what the pie looks like coming out of the oven. It did not jiggle very much. It jiggled very, very little. It looks really good. It's set for about 15 minutes and now there's absolutely no jiggling. So just make sure that when you bring your pie out of the oven, there's hardly any jiggling, okay? Okay. Anything to add, Cleo?
Mommy's a big meanie who steps on Dad's toes.
Yeah.
Even though he was standing there first.
Yeah.